Hello and welcome everybody. It's Miriam here at Paper Wheel Studio. I'd like to welcome all my new subscribers. We're inching up there, and when we get to 500 again, I'm going to have another giveaway. We may just make the product that's going to be given away right here on my channel. So stick around, see what I come up with as I move along here. Today we're playing with a medium that I've not seen used too much in junk journals. I did a search on YouTube and couldn't come up with much of anything. So if any of you have tried this out there, please comment below. Let me know what you think. I am using today chalk. And I have 3 different kinds of chalk. I picked up some chalk pencils. These are just pencils. And I'm assuming, yes, they have like a dry, chalky type pencil lead. So they're kind of like a colored pencil, only you're going to get a chalky look. And it's going to be very subtle, very light. I also have some decorative chalks that I picked up. The thing about chalk is it never dries out like something creamy or wet. I have had these for probably over 20 years, and they're still just as usable as probably, I mean, they're cracked up and things, but they're still very usable. I also bought some colored chalk here, dustless chalk, that we may get that out. But you know me, I kind of, a lot of times, get out more things than I can manage in one video. So we're just going to move along here, and I'm going to go ahead and get started and see what we can come up with. We're going to just try to use some stencils and some chalks and just see what we can create today. So I'm going to start with, it's just a little finger makeup sponge picked up. And these actually were in a makeup aisle, but by doing this, it will keep my fingers nice and clean, and they will look horrible like they did with the inks that I was spraying with the other day. So this is pure experimentation. I've used these chalks on scrapbook pages before, but never in this manner with stencils. So this is all new for me. I am participating in the 100-day challenge with Margaret, or excuse me, the 100-day challenge. I'm doing that on my own, though there are other creators doing that right now. I also am participating in the collaboration with Margaret and Tony. Margaret from Seven Plaza and Tony from Crafting by Tony. Welcome, and thank you to all my new subscribers. You're what makes my channel grow. And as I grow, when I get to 500 subscribers, folks, we're almost halfway there. We're going to have another giveaway. So please like and subscribe if you're watching my videos for the first time and you've not been here. I am also calling myself the Wheelchair Crafter. I am in a wheelchair, and I have a form of muscular dystrophy that limits my muscle strength. So I'm always trying to find ways to do things to get around that. Ooh, look how that turned out. Yeah. Now, with the book page, with this chalk, you would not have to go back in and spray it. However, with some chalks, that might be something you might have to do to seal it. And you can seal it with either easily enough with hairspray, or perhaps you can get one of those fixative sprays and seal it with that. I really don't think, though, with these decorative chalks that would be necessary. When I'll give it a test here momentarily for you, and we'll check it out and see what it does. If we rub it, we'll use, let's see, what do I have here? I have a clean makeup sponge. Let's take it and just simply rub here where I did this not smearing, maybe a little bit of it coming off, but not much at all. So that gives a really neat effect. And then you can always come along, use these for backgrounds or turn them into small envelopes, just really anything you might want to do with them. So let's, I don't know, let's try add a little bit of blue to this. What do we have here that we can kind of layer up with this? Oh, avalanche, avalanche. I have some music and scroll here. Let's put some of that on this paper. And stack my stencils over out of the way. And switch out here. Here we go. Now, we'll lay these couple other pages to the side here. And if the back one gets some of the extra, they're kind of two different colors, so I'll be able to tell where I'm at with this. So let's lay that one down there like that. And I said blue, but this green, and I think I'll be better off if I just use these. Keeps it off my fingers, huh? Let's try this dark green down here and see how it looks. The other one came off onto the thing very dark, but when I put it down on the paper, it was a lot more subtle. So let's see how this one does. It's a lot easier, I think, if you can just kind of swirl it around, which I can't do having it on one finger, so. I'll try to hold my stencil with one hand and get some chalk on my sponge with the other. And I think this chalk is probably going to be easier to wash off than those sprays and spritzes and things were the other day. And if my stencil slips, I don't really care. Let's see, is it okay? It doesn't get down in the little edges very easily. So what if I grab one of my chalk pencils and let's do a clef or two of music on here. And we're just gonna see what happens. Yeah, that's not really working very well. Let's just be a little more detailed with our sponge here, I think. And not be so anxious to be done. Okay. We're going to put a little bit of green on there. And now I'm just going to do some random swirling here, since the notes didn't turn out real well. And maybe we'll try some of the stick chalk with it, and I think we'll have a little bit better luck. Not thrilled about the chalk pencils, but I do have a random little chalkboard in my kitchen that they'll work on if they won't work in my craft room. Oh yeah. So we got some green and brown on that piece. We want to go for something different? Yeah, let's go for something different. Very subtle. Just let you put some ink down on the page. I also brought along some of these labels that I thought it might be neat to just kind of give them some color, and then they could be used somewhere in a background. So see what happens if we simply use some of this stuff to grunge them up. Now these have a little bit of a sheen. Must have gotten glue on that one or something. Sheen to them. I think in all honesty, it'll look better on the other side because it'll, yeah, look at that. Absolutely. The other side holds it better. And where it has like a little embossed edge where it sinks down, it keeps that, it kind of gives it an outline when you do this. I'm going to end up with dirty fingers again. Oh well. That's what happens. I don't like to wear gloves, so it's my own fault. Okay, so now I have a label that I can come along and stamp on, and it's not just a pure white label, which I like that idea. So we'll put that one there, and let's come along with maybe a blue one, and we'll do a couple blue labels. This blue is pretty. It looks very bright like that. Let's see how it goes down on a label or two. Again, I think I'm going to use the back of the label. And we'll just leave that brown one down there since he jumped down. All right, let's use the back of the label. We don't necessarily need to... Ooh, look how pretty. We don't necessarily need it where it jumped on there. And I like how it's coloring it, but it's not like you would with a marker. It kind of gives different tones over your label. So let's get enough on here to finish the whole thing. There we go. That's pretty cool looking. So we'll shuffle that one to the side. And then these can, you know, I'm just kind of working with some random bases today. And then we can use those for future projects. Wonder what blue would look like on top of here. It's obviously not going to come out blue, but it'll certainly do change the color in some way. So let's get some more on here. I'm just rubbing this over these little chalk things. I did a search for these decorative chalks. Let me glance here and show you. It's Craft Tea Products. I didn't just now saw the website. I don't even know if that website is still accurate. However, if you don't, like I said, if you can't find these, you might find something equivalent in a craft store, or I know Crayola makes all kinds of colored chalks and different coloring type things that you can use and create with. That's turning out pretty neat. It's also coloring the acetate on the back. It's holding these are stickers. So you've got acetate on the back of it, and then the sticker part here. So it'll probably just rub right off that acetate. But that gives the brown a totally different look, doesn't it? Oh my heavens, did you just see what happened over here? Let's get it off of these, and then I think I'm going to stick one of these labels down and see if I can make use of these little tiny pieces that have gone everywhere. I assume it's a piece of that gray that when I lifted it up, it came out. Let's see. You are no color, so you're going to become this color. I just use a contact paper on a plastic placemat when I'm creating a lot and experimenting. That way it keeps my desk clean, and I'm not getting a mat with all the measuring on it all messed up and dirty. Okay, let's pull in one of these. These are not shiny. These are both matte on both sides. So we're going to lay the stencils over, and we're just going to kind of play with some coloring of things today. See how these do on these different products, and we'll come back to the regular chalks probably here in a bit. This is a gray. I'm going to leave my book page under, because the book page underneath, when I'm done, all these excess things will look really cool having it. background. That almost gives it a really light gray, almost silver look here. Just going to spread this around. It's very subtle. Can you tell the difference? Look at that. I like when I do things and make papers or something that looks different, really cool, that can be used then in some way. So, I've got these. Anytime you have tickets like that, these little holes are the perfect place. So you could add little brads for decoration, and then you can still glue them down or however in your journal. And I need a drink of coffee. It's still quite early. I'm on my first cup still. Clean my fingers slightly so I don't get mixed my color. Oh yeah, they're wiping off real good. So don't mix my colors here. And let's do, let's use the gray on one of these pieces and see how it would do. That piece, did we do something on that? No, we didn't. That's an undone one too. We've only done one brown one. Pretty bad when you're on camera and you can't remember what you just did, huh? That's because when you get to be my age, I'm close to turning 60. That's what happens, folks. Your memory is shot. So now young people know what you have to look forward to. Your memory goes kaput when you get older. And if it's not good now, then I don't know. Well, it's given this just a very subtle difference in color. I'll compare one of the brown ones to this when I'm done with it. Yeah, it made it a different color brown for sure. That just gives it a whole different look. Then I can come along with maybe some even my ticket stamps or some label stamps, stamp on these, and these will be good to go in a journal. Very simple, very easy. Okay, you were gray. And I got a few more of these little tiny sponges here. Let's try the gold here on one. Then maybe the pink, and we'll move on to the other chalk, I think. Unless we try it on a bigger sheet. And these can be used as bases for anything you want to make to put in your journal. That one is done. I always missed that one was even done. I don't think I put anything on this one. Don't believe so. Now, that doesn't show up much on there. All that does is make it more of a clean brown. So, that one could probably use something else. Let's try the yellow on one of these white ones where it will show up good. Almost like an antique linen look. And I have to try the pink. That's the only other one I really want to try here today. So we got to do it. Again, it's going to give the various different hues on here. And if you haven't heard this from me before, I'm not an artist. I don't claim to know the proper techniques. I just like to get the stuff out, play with it, experiment, and see what I come up with. So don't be afraid to experiment for your journals. I mean, all honesty, folks, if I could do this, so can you. Don't be hard on yourself. Just come along and try it out. And if you want just a little bit, you could even use like an eyeshadow brush here. Hate to waste this ink, but it's going to end up, or this chalk, that's going to end up all over everything if I don't clean up my little mess here. You could also probably wet your chalks, and that would look really cool. Never thought of that till just now. It would probably make your color of your chalk a little more intense if you wet them. Okay, get rid of that. Make sure my fingers are fairly clean here. when I go to get some more out. Now, I have this carbony color here, so I'm going to get some on this, at least one side of it. These remind me of just like eyeshadows, these ones here. So let's just go around the edge with this one. Give it a darker edge. And I'm trying to stay outside my little line that I have. Might go over it a little, but just gonna blend it in if I do. Yep, there we go. And I'm gonna go along here, just blending it in. Ooh, I like how this one's turning out. Look at that. I might have to do that on another one. Use like a different color blue chalk from my blue chalks on the bottom. That would be really cool. All right. So now we have this, which looks really cool to put some things on. And again, I don't think these decorative chalks are going to rub off the paper that well, as long as it's a matted flat paper. One more I want to try is this pink. It just looks so light, pretty, and subtle here. I got to try it. Let's use it on one of these. I also have some bigger pieces here that I might try coloring, and then I can stamp some of my little labels on. This one has a lot of residual that it's picked up, but that's okay. We're just gonna put the chalk on it, that side, where it's already got some on it. Ooh, look at that. Very, very faint pink. Pretty, pretty, pretty. Oh yeah. You know those labels that I was working with before? These would probably be a good way to color up my labels. Back from my label video, I don't know if you saw that, but I used some, it's just really, really subtle. I like it. Very, very, I don't know if you can really even see it in this lighting, how light it is. Not great. I think I need more light in here. I'll have to work on that, getting some more light when I video. Let's see if I can pull out some labels without having a catastrophe here. Yeah, here's some. Keep your fingers crossed that things don't go haywire here. All right. Managed to do it just fine. So I'm gonna, oop. We got a little gentleman that came along too for the ride. We'll put him over here. He's cute. He's from my porch prints. This label keeps coming up here. So push it down a little bit more. And he'll have to get used soon because he must want to be used, being so, since he's jumping off the paper so quickly, huh? Let's just cut here. And we'll just try a few of these. See how they turn out. And I even have a piece of something under that one. Probably paper crumbs. That's what always is on my desk. I don't eat on this desk, but I get a lot of paper crumbs. I don't know what else to call them. Maybe you guys have other names for them, but when you're working with your papers and all those little bits and pieces that you end up with, paper crumbs. I don't know what else to call them. Alright, so we're going to just cut that off there. And we got a couple pieces here that we can play with our chalk. Come on, get out of my way there, thing. There we go. And we have a few more we can play with here. Let's get a little bit more pink, and we'll make a pink label here. And then we'll use each of my sponges and see what they've got on them, just to color up some of these labels. The pink is very light, very subtle. In fact, you can't really see it on there, but you can see that that is, when I hold it up, it is slightly different color. Not much at all, to be quite honest. So probably I'm going to put another color on there. Let's see what the blue does to these. Oh yeah, blue does a lot more. Oh yeah. That looks neat. We're going to do a couple more of these blue because I think the blue looks fabulous. Fabulous. So I'm not sure why I got a darker color right down through there, but I like the effect it gave. Not sure how it happened. Might have been glue got stuck to it or something. I don't know. Let's try a green one. Again, I'm just using what's already on these little makeup sponges to do these. Just rubbing off what I can onto the labels. Give it a very, I don't like, you know, I like color in my drills in a sense, but I don't like bright colors. I like the more I do these, the more I like the vintage look of things. I think I need a little more green on my sponge. Said I wasn't going to do that, but here I am. That's the beauty of a creator. You get to change your mind, don't you? If you're making it, you can change your mind and change it. There we go. Much better. You can change it into anything that you would like it to be. So now we've got some of those colored labels. We want to do one more green. Let's do a little green one. I hope you guys are having an amazing day where you are today. We have another very bright sunny day forecasted. I think our nice pleasant spring has finally come to the Ohio Valley. Oh, we'll need more gold. Do a gold one, and what else do we have here? Okay, we've done blue and green, and we got this one, and we got gold. And you are gray. Oh, you still have more on you. Let's use you on something. You got quite a bit, it looks like, where I spelled it. So let's do a gray one here. Again, it's very, very subtle, but it's keeping it from that white, being that white color. It reminds me of the Tim Holtz speckled egg, I think it's called. That very, when you put it down, that really, really subtly light blue. Of course, it's chalk, so it's going to give you that chalky look, which is, I think, is kind of cool. Very similar to what you get with your oxides. Ooh, that looks like we've just antique photoed that baby. So we're going to lay you out to do some larger pieces, I think. And let's see what happens if we use this on something. It gives it a really dirty, grungy look. Looks like, not really dirty, but it looks like it's been around a while. And it's not fresh out of a white label package. Do we use the caramely on this? I don't think we have. Let's use the other side of this and try this caramel one here. It's very dark on there. Let's see what happens when we spread it on a label. Ooh, that's pretty cool. I like that a lot. So we're going to probably, I did that one, so these are all done. We got all these that I can come back and stamp on. Now I also have some, let's see what happens with the caramel on one of these guys. And that turned it into what like I said before, just a different color brown. So if we're going to use it on these, we probably need to use the greens, blues, or this darker. I don't know what you call it. It's almost like a, no, it's not really a black. It's like a brown black almost. What? Let me turn it over and see what they're calling it. Forest green, brown, and charcoal. Good name for it. I'll go ahead and close that because I think I'm done with it for now. We'll play with the other chalks for a bit. Yeah. I don't think chalks are a good thing to use with stencils. Just being quite honest, y'all. I don't think that's a very good idea. I need another drink. I'm just sitting here enjoying my crafting and my coffee this morning. All right, keep a little pile of colored goodies there. And we are going to try this dustless chalk. So if it's dustless, that means that I shouldn't have to worry about cleaning up a bunch on my table, right? We'll see here. And I still have a couple makeup sponges that I could blend with these. I'm probably going to tear my box up and I'll need a container to put my chalk in when I'm done here. Hopefully not. But look at all those luscious, beautiful colors, y'all. Look at that. Woohoo! We got green, brown, pink, blue, yellow. What colors do we have? Honestly, these do not look like these, do they? Nope, they don't. But that's okay. We got a pink, an orange, a couple different colors orange, but they look so similar. And my chalk is broken, but that's okay. And we're going to grab out a blue, a brown, a yellow, and a green. A green. Yep, there you go. And how about a yellow? So we really, in this box that I thought would be a lot more different colors, it really is deceiving. We only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But that's all right. We can still do a lot with these 6 colors. Lay these off to the side here. And these two have been colored, so we want to put these out of my way. I'm going to use up these little ones first, and then I'll go into the bigger things if I have time. So let's just try this lovely, what appears to be a brown of some color. It certainly is. And because this stuff smears good, I'm going to just try putting it on like this. And then I'm going to come along with a sponge and see how it smears good. Never tried it. Don't know. But I will say it's not as dusty as regular chalk. Actually, you know, I'm here with my finger, why not? Ooh, look at the effect you get, everyone. Look at that, guys. Oh my gosh. Ah, I love it. Check it out. And then we have this, and it kind of has, I don't mind the lines because that kind of gives almost like a wood grain appearance. And I like that color. It's almost like a, I don't know, a caramely, rusty brown, almost a peachy color on camera, but that's what we got. Let's see. I want to use a green, or let's try a yellow on one of the brown ones here and see what that does. And then maybe we'll try a pink. And I'm just going to do like I did on the other one. Just get enough pigment on here. And I like the chalks, honestly, better than oil pastels, you guys. Oh yeah, look at that. Oh, look at that. See the difference? I love it. That gives it almost a gold, yellowish, different brownish. I don't know what color you call it. A color analysis, I'm not. Analyzer. Color? What would you call those people that know about colors? Color analysts? I don't know. Ooh, look at this. That mint green's going to be pretty too, I think. Oh, look at that. And I don't think these are going to be bad about rubbing off once it's rubbed in, because all the excess is ending up all over my fingers. I need just a wee bit more here. There we go. Oh, I love it. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Let's see, we've done yellow and green. Do we want to try pink and blue? I got one more. Let's try a pink, since the other pink didn't turn out real well. This is much brighter, but I'm sure when it blends, it'll look different. Oh, look at that. Isn't that pretty? And it's not too much. It just gives it a nice, pretty pink color. It would look beautiful with a nice rose sticker on there and a couple things, and you'd have a nice little label cluster. I have all kinds of goodies to use when I'm done today. And tomorrow's V, so I know what I'm doing for V. And then we have W, X, Y, and Z next week. I'm going to try a blue. And I'm just using my pointer finger to smear all of these. It's not really messing them up. It just kind of gives it a cool, neat effect. Should do the same on these. It absolutely is. You fill in all the colors. The more you rub, the more those lines will kind of rub differently. And I want to try something with that. Pull that other blue one up here and see if we can outline it like we did the... Here's the green and the blue that we did. Let's try to put some of this. Is that the one I just did? No, I don't think so. Or is it? No, that's the one I just did. Actually, the blue on this is darker, so I don't know. Let's try though. Maybe if I give it a heavy chalk there along the edges. We'll do the same here. And we're just going to go around the whole thing here, and then I'll blend it. Just putting a line down along each of the edge. Okay. And we got this piece, and then that's our last one there. What if we go back with the other side of my makeup brush? And you can get these disposable, or you can get ones that you can wash out. Really, any store carries extra makeup brushes these days. Eyeshadow brushes is what they are. applicators, whatever you want to call them. Oh, I like how that's turning out. Except, need just a little more on that one edge right here. There we go, got it that time. Get out of my way. Don't want to rub it all off because I like that darker around there. Here we go. I got that piece. All ready to go. Have we done yellow on here yet? I think. Did we? I don't remember. No, I don't think we did on a white one. Let's try it on white. And then maybe the orange. And we've done one of each on the white paper. Now that is a brighter yellow. We could always come back in with a caramel and add to it. We haven't done much of that lately. Oopsie, solid coloring. Let's see what happens if we add a few marks in here and just kind of blend them. Just some streaks, like. Give it a whole different look here. And I'm just going to kind of, don't want it to all blend away, just a little bit. Now that looks really cool. Can you see the lines and the grains in there? Oh, might be a little hard to see. There you can. There you can. We got that. Okay. Move things around just slightly here. And we were going to do the orange is where I was. So I'm going to put some orange down on here and I'll spread it around. And we'll just show you what it all looks like when I'm done here. Now you could try the sides of it to lay some color down. You won't get the lines as much, I don't think, if you have like a different kinds of piece of chalk that you're... I can't do it because I can't hold it that way to do it, but you can try that. You know, just try your mediums in different ways that you've not thought of before. Like, I have this wet wipe here. I have a slight cup of water. And I'm just going to dip my wipe in it a little bit. See what happens if we wet this piece. See if it does anything. I did brighten that up a bit, but when it dries, it might not be like that. Okay. So we have that. We want to try one of these. These are like watercolor pages that can be used as backgrounds for anything. Okay, you need to lay him up here where he could dry. And we're going to, what are we going to do, Miriam? Let's just use a wet cloth on some of these others that I have here. Let's try the wet cloth with the gold or this really, really light yellow and see what it does. Let's do that. Oh, that's not a good idea to wet them like that, Miriam. They won't go on very well. So now we know. Where's my yellow? Just scraping some of that water up. Yeah, it's coming on there. So don't wet your chalks while they're in the thing. Wet them after you get them on the paper. Yeah. We're going to try a couple different colors here. And we're just going to play and see what we come up with. There we go. Depending on which one we put down on the paper. Oh, look at that. We'll get something different depending on which color gets left behind. Ooh, I really am liking this. I can come back and stamp some labels on here and they will just cut them out. They'll look fabulous. Just using what I picked up on this little sponge and just putting it down. Okay. I wish you could see it, like, right, not through my phone camera, because it looks even more awesome when you're not looking at it. See how it's, the difference in the colors there? A lot better. It just so cool looking. I think I'm going to do one more of those, and that will be it for today, folks. So I hope you can try some experimenting with chalks and see what you come out with. We haven't used this yet. It's quite bright red, but maybe if I mix it with a little of black, and what the heck, some gray, do you think? Let's see what happens here. Okay, that reminds me of the, what is it? The burgundy color that ends up coming out a very dark pink by Tim Holtz. What is that? Mahogany, antique mahogany. It comes out kind of a burgundy. That's what this reminds me of. And we'll come back and add some other colors here too and tone that down a bit. I just like the effect you get on this, these watercolor sheets that I picked up. Again, it's probably from you-know-where. Temu, my favorite craft place to shop these days. Okay, we're going to put some of that back in here to not make it quite as bright red. That worked. Oh, yeah. And then we have this baby as a background. And you can't really, maybe you can. I'll hold it up closer to the camera. This has like raised up areas on it. So it looks super duper cool because you have little white valleys there where the chalk is not catching. And you might be able to see if I hold it up closer. See where the little white, yeah, there you go. See it perfectly right there. But that's the effect, and it just gives a really cool effect look for backgrounds for some of the things that you make for your journals. Oh, I can't quit. So we're going to do a blue one. And I'll call it quits. I promise. You could try the back of one of these to see how it turns out. And I changed my mind. We're going to use green. And we're just going to put some down on here and see how it turns out. Oh, even though it's the back, it still has that similar look when you put the chalk on it. And then you could even punch things out of these. If you use cardstock and color it like this, you could then come back and punch things with it. And if you find you've put too much on, you're getting a little bit of rub off, just spray it with hairspray and that'll give you a fixed look. And it won't rub off, likely. So, we got that one. And you can really see the difference if you hold Here's an original. We got the green. This is the one we used the red and brown on. Made it more of a burgundy-ish. And this is the one we used just a little bit of everything with. And you can really see the difference in these. So I think they look really cool, and I'm going to reserve them for when I do some stamping and label making, which I'd like to do coming up. So that's what I have been doing today, just simply playing around here at my desk with some various chalks and mediums, and we've come up with a pretty good little pile of colored labels that I can come back and stamp on and play with. I've got all these here, and even the brighter colors will look nice for backgrounds for clusters or what have you. So we're pretty well colored up quite a few things here today. I was hoping there'd be purple chalk in my colored chalk, but I guess they don't. They kind of lie on the box by telling us to expect all those beautiful different colors, and then we get one and we've got, what do we count? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 colors. Not very many different colors. So anyway, we have that. I hope you've all enjoyed my video and you get out some different mediums and you give some different things a try. And I will see everyone in my next video. Bye for now, folks.